Hi everyone, Creeper Jig here, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a dropper elevator that works for 1.2 through 1.15.1 and possibly above. If you are in a version outside that range, I recommend making an example in a test world, running the version you want to test out. Okay, so with that said, if you've made item elevators in the past, you know there's a ton of different ways to go about it. I've tried out several of them, and this version is currently my favorite. It works to push a ton of items up very quickly and will not jam up like some of the other versions do. Best of all, it's super compact and light on materials. Okay, so you may be asking, Jake, why would I need to transport items upwards? What's the big deal? Well, I'm going to show you two examples of how to use this system in your base using my base on a friend's Minecraft realm. This realm is complete survival, no cheats, proving that it's very easy to build in a survival world. So let's go over there and check it out. Alright, so here we are at my base, one of my bases on a friend's realm. And it's a pretty big base, and it has a lot of integrated systems and farms. So let me go ahead and show you exactly how some of these work with the item elevators. So up here we have a cow farm, and you guys have probably seen these before, these cow crusher farms. And basically the idea is you feed the cows, the entity level raises above cap, and the older cows get squished and die. And so their items drop into a hopper system below, and they get carried off into another system. So down here is an item sorter. So the meat is actually sorted from the leather. So we have one full of leather. And then this is where the meat would go out into these hoppers over into the furnace area. So over in the furnace area, okay, so here's where the meat is cooked in these furnaces here. Once the meat is brought up here, which is closer to the surface, it comes up one of the item elevators. And here you can see it. So if I were to feed those cows downstairs, this would automatically start feeding from the hoppers below up into here, and then through those hoppers into the furnaces. And then once the meat's cooked, it actually gets deposited right here into an item silo, and you can see it here. So fairly useful system, and there's a lot of other ways you can use it. We also have a villager powered wheat farm down here, and that is right next to the cow crushers, where it gets delivered. So technically the wheat is actually collected here at this level. It goes down, up, down, under, and up to this box here, where it's currently overflowing. But all of the overflow actually goes to a composter, so we can use the bone meal later for other things. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to make it. Okay, so now that you have seen how useful the item elevator can be, let me show you how to make it. Here's our materials list. Your project is going to be very specific, and you're going to need to know how many blocks you intend on moving the items up. So for droppers, it's going to be equal to the number of blocks you're moving up. Observers is going to be the number of blocks you're moving up divided by 2 plus 2. So the base of the elevator is always going to have the same amount of redstone components, and so that's where you get your plus 2 from. You're always going to need 2 plus the number of blocks you're moving up divided by 2. Okay, now you're going to need redstone dust, and that's going to be equal to the number of observers plus 1. Redstone torch, always the same, plus 1. Comparator, plus 1. Blocks, plus 4. Hoppers, plus 2. And the hoppers are just to push the items into your bottom dropper and remove them from your top dropper. Okay, so once you've got your materials together, in our example, we're moving items up 4 blocks. So you're going to need 4 droppers, 4 observers, 5 redstone dust, 1 redstone torch, 1 comparator, 4 blocks, and 2 hoppers. And with your blocks, make sure they're redstone conductive. I suggest any kind of stone, cobble, something like that. Stay away from glass and other weird materials. Okay, so let's go take a look and see how this is made. Okay, so here we are back in our redstone testing world, and we've got our chest full of our materials here. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove those. They might be added to some other stuff I have in my inventory. There we go. Okay, so to start off with, here's our example here. To start off with, you're just going to want to clear out a 3x3 section with 1 corner left undone, okay? And that corner is going to correspond with where you have items coming in, okay? So our items, we're going to set up this here real quick. So say our hopper line comes in right here, okay? So this is where we would put our hole. And then we're going to grab our droppers. We're just going to go ahead and start stacking those up and shift click to get those down. We've got 4. Then we're going to go ahead and place our comparator. And you want to be facing this way when you place it so it goes correctly. So the 2 prongs are towards the dropper. Then you're going to get your observers. This is where it's going to get a little tricky. I always forget how these exactly go in, but you may have to place some temporary blocks to place them. So, yep, that was backwards. So what you want to do is start here. Place that in there. Place that like that, not like that. And remove that block, and you can see the face is facing out this way. Now you're going to want to do the exact opposite. So you place the temporary block in, place your observer. Now the face is facing this way. Okay. Then you're going to want to take 2 more blocks, place your redstone torch on that, place a block in here, and a block here. And you're going to have 1 dot of redstone, 2 dots, 3 dots. Okay. Now it's time for the observers. So what you want to do is you want to get every other dropper with an observer on the side facing towards the bottom where the redstone dust is. So here we're only using 2. So you want to shift click. Oh, I think I need to be a little higher. Shift click just like that. Get up a little higher and shift click. And then you want to add some redstone dust on top of those to make sure they fire off. And then you're going to want to add a way to get your items out of the top dropper. So I'm just going to, I just used that block to just push in a hopper so we have it facing this way. And then I will take a treasure chest, pop it here. And we'll put one just right on top of this here. Okay. So that's it. That's your system. So if you needed more to take the items up higher, needed more droppers in there, all you need to do is repeat this. Every other dropper, you need an observer with a dot of redstone. Observer, dot of redstone. And even if you come out uneven, say you needed it just 1 more block, all you have to do is place another dropper on top of there. Put your hopper in. And then put your items in. And that should work exactly the same. There you go. So you're all set, and you can hook that up to several different types of machines. Pretty handy little system. So I appreciate all you guys watching today, and I hope you like and subscribe if this video was useful to you, and leave me a comment below and give me some suggestions on what you'd like to see next. Thanks, guys.